Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into an awesome project from freebuildplans.com. We're going to build a 20-bin storage rack, all from simple 2x4 boards. This rack is used to store those common yellow lid storage totes that you find at the home improvement stores and is a perfect way to organize your garage, workshop, or even your basement. The plans are also available on the website, and I'll add that in the description below. So let's get started. All right, before we jump into building, let's gather all the tools and materials you'll need. The tools you'll need are a power drill or impact gun, a circular saw, a measuring tape, and a level. The material we'll be using for this will be 2x4 boards, a sheet of plywood for the top shelf, and 2.5-inch wood screws. Now that we know what we're working with, let's cut our 2x4 boards to the required lengths. Once you have all your pieces cut, lay them out and make sure everything lines up properly. A little pro tip, always measure twice and cut once to avoid any mistakes. Let's go over the cut list. 4 pieces of 2x4s cut at 7 feet, 5.5 inches. 42 pieces of 2x4s cut at 2 feet, 4 inches. 10 pieces of 2x4s cut at 6 feet, 8 inches. 1 piece of plywood cut at 2 feet, 7 inches by 7 feet, 5.5 inches. For pieces like the brackets where you have to cut a ton of boards all at the same length, it might be worth it to build a template so you only have to measure once. Next, we'll build the side walls of our storage rack. We'll be making 2 of these walls and they will be identical. First, take one of the longer 2x4 pieces and lay it down on the floor. This will serve as the bottom plate of the wall. If your rack will be placed in a high moisture area, it might be worth it to use pressure-treated lumber for these, as they will be in contact with the ground. From here, we will take 5 of the 6-foot 8-inch pieces and equally space them across the width of the board as shown. The spacing between each stud should measure 1 foot, 8.5 inches. With the boards in place, screw 2 screws into each board to attach them to the base plate. With the boards assembled, take another long board piece and align it to the opposite end and attach it to the surface of the boards as shown. Once this board is attached, this will make up 1 wall. Repeat these steps to make 2 identical walls. Now that we have our side walls ready, it's time to bring it all together. Begin by taking your 2 walls and bringing them upright. Holding them in place with clamps can be helpful here. We will attach the ends of the walls together with one of the 2x4 pieces and attach with 4 screws at each connection. At this point, you will have the structure for the shelf units. This is a good time to make sure that your bins fit between each of the studs, as some manufacturers make the 27-gallon bins with slightly different dimensions. The next step is to install the shelf brackets. These are all made up of the same 2-foot, 4-inch pieces. Measuring from the top of the bottom plate, the spacing of the brackets should be 1 foot, 2.5 inches, as shown. This will leave enough room for the storage bin to rest on top of the bracket. After installing the first row of brackets, double-check to make sure your bins fit on the shelf brackets. If the fit is good, go ahead and install the rest of them while maintaining the same spacing. Once you've installed all the shelf brackets, you will have a total of 20 openings for your storage bins. Finally, we're going to add a top plywood sheet for extra storage space. This is an optional step, so if you don't want an extra storage shelf on top, you can skip this step. To add the plywood, simply secure it with screws and make sure it's nice and level. Sand down any rough edges to give it a smooth finish. At this point, you are all done. Feel free to paint it or just leave it as a natural wood color. And there you have it, folks. A sturdy storage rack made entirely out of 2x4 boards. This project is not only functional, but also a great way to enhance your DIY skills. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome DIY projects. Thanks for watching and happy building.